Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. Shout out to King of Craxels for sponsoring this video. He paid $7 for this 1-hour Jet Starlight non-canon special. Don't worry, this is non-canon. You don't have to watch any other Jet Starlight video in order to understand what's going on in this video. Let me start up the 1-hour timer. Ba-da-da-da. Okay, the timer is counting down, and let's jump right into the adventure. You are Jet Starlight. You are a god who doesn't remember who you are or what most of your powers are. You know that you can fly, shoot fire, and summon an aura of flame. You are currently inside of a void dimension called the Green Mirror. You are equipped and bound to a talking sentient shapeshifting weapon that you've named Ofda. Ofda treats you as a close friend and a king, and you are bound to Ofda due to some mysterious dimensional force. You and Ofda are fighting the Warden of Seld City. Seld City is a city where magic and modern technology coexist. The Warden of Seld City is a large black monster with massive fists. The Warden is the ruler of Seld City, who's trying to forge an army by locating the strongest fighters, forcing superpowered citizens to battle in gladiator matches. The Warden wants to take down a cult to the north of Seld City called the Church of Joachim. You are fighting the Warden to get revenge for the death of your friend Vic Victoria Sirens' sister, and for the Warden having tampered with your mind with the now destroyed Mind Mirror. The Warden's powers appear to fluctuate and change depending on what dimension he is inhabiting, and his dark castle fluctuates between dimensions, allowing him to develop new powers sporadically. Further, the Warden is able to psychically perceive his enemies' attacks before they happen and counter them. Okay, so I'm going to ask Ofda, can you form into a suit of armor that blocks out the Warden's ability to psychically predict our attacks? Also, I'm doing this like after midnight, so I apologize if I'm not all there. Ofda nods and forms into a suit of red and gold full-plate armor around you. You feel your mind clear for a moment, and the Warden's signature in your mind disappears. Okay. I'm going to say to the Warden, we are no longer inside of your castle. Now that we are inside of the void dimension of the Green Mirror, your powers are limited to whatever abilities you possess in this dimension. What powers do you have inside the Green Mirror? I imagine you brought us here because this is where you are your strongest. Okay, so let's see what the Warden can do here. You feel a psychic force slam against your mind, and you can sense the Warden frantically trying to attack you psychically. I'm going to say to the Warden, it looks like you are getting desperate. Ofda can protect me from your psychic attacks. Without your mind mirror, your psychic abilities are severely lacking. I prepare a massive fireball in between my hands and continue to charge it with my magical aura. He has the ability to predict and counter my moves, but that's only because he can tap into me psychically. With Ofda protecting my mind, he'll have no idea how to handle what I have. The Warden screams in rage and attacks you. You feel the mental force slam into your mind and find it severely lacking in power. Let's see. I'm going to continue to charge up my fireball and expand it. Okay. The Warden so far hasn't done anything to stop me from being able to charge up my attack. You feel a trickle of your magical energy escape you and enter the fireball in your hands. It's noticeably bigger and hotter than before. You can feel the heat burn your hands, but it doesn't distract you. I'm going to ask Ofda. Since we're bound due to some mysterious dimensional bond, does that mean that we can tap into each other's magic reserves? I'm curious if I can combine Ofda's power into my fireball. Ofda's voice answers you inside your head. We appear to have a magical connection. My magical energy is yours, and it would appear that your physical strength is also mine. You can feel Ofda's body shudder in pain and grunt slightly. What's happening to you? You ask Ofda. You are worried that Ofda is straining to fight off the psychic attacks of the Warden. So Ofda borrows from my physical strength, and I borrow from Ofda's magic. I'm curious how this is gonna go. This battle is taxing on my mortal frame. We need to finish this quickly, Ofda answers you. You begin to hear voices in your head again. I'm going to say, I guess I have no time to waste. Supernova Slam! I fire off a massive fireball that I've been charging for an extended period, using the combination of my magic and Ofda's. I should have called it like solar fusion or something. That would have been cool. The fireball explodes with brightness of... Whoa, wait, what? The fireball explodes with the brightness of 10 supernovas and engulfs the green mirror, sending Ofda and you to your knees as your body stops producing the massive amounts of energy needed to fuel the spell. We did it, you hear Ofda say through the telepathic connection. It engulfs the green mirror and sends us to our knees. Goodness. I'm going to say to Ofda, I can't believe that attack was able to engulf an entire dimension. You look around to see if the Warden has been defeated. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like I had to fire it off right then, or else the Warden would have gotten into our mind. You see that the green mirror is completely destroyed, and Ofda is standing over a blackened pile of dust. I'm going to say, wow, we destroyed that dimension. That's crazy. Is that dust pile what's left of the Warden? It's quite interesting. Ofda throws the life stone that the Warden was holding to you and says, "Yes, yes it is. Come, let us get out of here before Ofda can finish his sentence. A bolt of lightning strikes you and Ofda from behind." Okay. I guess I'm going to try to brace myself and cry out, "Ofda, return to me as a suit of armor. This battle isn't over." Okay. So, this is bad. I don't know who's shooting the lightning at us. As you feel your physical strength leaving your body and the lightning invading your mind, you fall backwards through the hole in the roof of the tower, off the suit of armor above you. Okay, so it's above me as I'm like falling backwards through a hole in the roof of a tower. I'm going to try to catch myself by floating in midair in order to stop my fall. I can fly, so I don't really have to worry about like falling. As the bolt of lightning hits you, your mind is completely awash with the psychic screams of all life in the city. You begin to fall out of the roof of the tower. You hear a loud clanging sound as you begin to fall, unable to stop your fall. You realize that the life stone must have sent you and Ofda back to Celled City. Since the green mirror dimension was destroyed by your supernova slam, the closest location full of life was Celled City. You are currently falling through the tower of the Warden's dark castle. You decide to throw the life stone away from you so that you can resist the sounds of the psychic screams of life around you. You then once again try to stop falling by floating in the air. Maybe the life stone was how the Warden planned to return. Excuse me. You begin to hear the Warden's voice in your head. He is laughing maniacally and saying, "Oh goodness. Did I fail to keep the Warden out? I just sworn he was turned to ash. Is this the Warden's ghost, or is he talking to me through the life stone? I finally escaped the green mirror. The destruction of the mirror must have released me from its hold." You feel Ofda's suit of armor crash into you as he falls out of the tower. Shit, okay, so we're both falling. I'm going to say to Ofda, form around me in jet mode so that we can fly back up to the top of the dark castle. Okay, so this is interesting. Ofda immediately transforms into his jet mode. You climb on top of Ofda's jet mode and give him the order to fly back up to the top of the dark castle. Ofda's eyes glow green as his engines fire up. I'm going to say to Ofda, I think what we were fighting before was just a physical manifestation of the Warden inside of the green mirror. I think we were facing off against the Warden's true form, which was sealed away inside of the green mirror. When we destroyed the green mirror dimension, it freed the Warden's true form. I think he purposely had us fight him there to free himself from his dimensional prison. We've been playing into his hand all along. Nonsense, the Warden says in your head. You were always destined to fight and kill one another. I merely gave you a gentle push in the right direction. Nothing more. As you leave Ofda's jet mode begins to lose power. Hold on, that's confusing. Retry. Ofda remains silent. Ofda's eyes briefly glow green, and he rises up off the falling... Wait, what? Ofda's eyes briefly glow green, and he rises up off of the falling dark castle. You rise up in the air as well, sitting on top of Ofda's jet mode. I'm still confused by that too. Why is the castle falling? I'm gonna retry. What do you mean? Ofda asks as his jet mode carries the pair of you back up to the top of the dark castle. Okay, so I'm going to say to Ofda, I think the Warden is an interdimensional being that has a true form and a physical form. I think the Warden that we fought at the Dark Castle was his physical form. When we entered the green mirror dimension, I think we were fighting the Warden in his true form. The pile of ash we saw was his physical form. When we destroyed the green mirror dimension, I think we freed the Warden's true form. That would explain why the Warden's powers fluctuate between dimensions. It's because the Warden himself is an interdimensional being. And I will say I did type a lot, so I understand if the AI is tripping up a little bit. Nonsense, Ofda says. The Warden is a physical being from another world. He was trapped in the green mirror, but thanks to you freeing him, he's free to wreak havoc on our city. Let's see. And then it had me say, I don't think so. But to be honest, I agree. I'm going to say to Ofda, I think we're both saying the same thing. The Warden has multiple, forms Well, yeah. I think we're both saying the same thing. We're both saying that the Warden is not from this world, and that he's from the green mirror dimension. But if you recall, we fought the Warden outside of the green mirror dimension before we entered the green mirror dimension. This must mean that the first Warden we fought was just a physical manifestation of Green Mirror Warden, and not the Warden's true form. Now the Warden's true form has been unleashed, and we need to stop him by any means necessary. His interdimensional powers will likely allow him to enslave Cell City. He is trying to form an army. So I imagine he could try and enslave Cell City in order to form an army to fight the Church of Joachim. Your words remind Ofda of his duty, and he flies faster. Soon you're exiting out of the top of the castle and facing down at the city. I'm going to say to Ofda, I heard the Warden speak inside of my mind. Form around me as the psychic protection mode armor. We need to locate the Warden's true form and destroy him before it's too late. So let's see what we can do. As the pair of you fly down towards the city, Ofda does as you ask and forms into the psychic armor mode. The pair of you speed through the air at an alarming rate, as you soon see a large black monster. I'm going to say to Ofda, the Warden's true form manifested in Cell City is a lot larger than I would have expected. He's become almost like a kaiju. Let's see what we can do to stop him. I'm not sure how much of a challenge he'll be, but we'll see soon enough. The Warden is indeed much longer. The Warden is indeed much larger than when you fought him at the Dark Castle. The Warden stands over 20 feet tall, his forearms ending with huge crab claws that he moves in furious swipes at the city. At the city? You were surprised that the Warden would attack Cell City. In his other form, he controlled Celled City, and he was forming an army to fight the Church of Jockey. You ask the Warden, why in your true form do you attack the city that you once ruled? Yeah, this doesn't add up. Maybe he never really wanted to control Celled City. Maybe he just wanted to destroy both. Like maybe he wanted Celled City to be destroyed and the Church of Joachim to be destroyed. But maybe he didn't have the power to do that on his own. So he was trying to like make them fight each other. That could be one theory. Let's figure out what the Warden says. Also, Ofda and I need to be careful. If we're dimension busters, meaning we can destroy an entire dimension, we can't use moves like the Supernova Slam inside of like our home dimension. We would literally just like destroy reality, and that's not what we want. But the Warden's true form is a lot stronger, I imagine, than his like previous physical form. Do we even have a choice? Oh snap. The AI is reprinted my thing like 2 additional times. I must be really grinding at trying to figure out what to say. Also, it seems like the Warden's true form is a lot crazier. Like, it's not just bigger, it's a different. Like, 4 arms, I think, is new. Huge crab claws at the ends of his arms is definitely new. AI is still grinding. How much time have we used so far? Hey, we got like 32 something minutes left. Let's see how this goes. Whoa, it's done it a 4th time. So it keeps like retrying that like same statement. The Warden looks down at you, sneering. The Warden says telepathically. Okay, what is he gonna say telepathically? And yeah, I imagine he does look down at us, considering he's like 20 feet tall. I don't recognize your question, the Warden says in telepathy. Why does it matter to you? All that should matter to you is your death, which will allow me to finish my meal of this delicious city. I'm going to say to Ofda, it looks like the Warden's priorities have changed. Before, he wanted to build an army. Now, he just wants to eat. Maybe he was trying to build an army of powerful warriors, not to attack the Church of Joachim, but to devour in order to empower himself. Yeah, that might be it. Excuse me. The Church of Joachim thing could have just been an excuse. Often you fly around the Warden, and he uses his cloud crawl arms to destroy buildings. You see a small contingent of celled guard trying to shoot at the Warden from the back of hovering robotic battle suits. Ooh, we actually get to see like the police of Celled City. This is my first time like seeing them. Okay, that's kind of dope. So we can work alongside the Celled Guard to try and defeat the Warden. I'm going to ask Ofda. What should we do? We were able to defeat his smaller form using the Supernova Slam, but that move destroys entire dimensions. I don't want to use anything that powerful in this dimension. That being said, it seems like we would need a move that's even more powerful than that to stop the Warden's true form. Well, that's arguing that we didn't go overkill the first time, actually. Like, maybe the system was way stronger than what we needed. It's weird that the game then said, "Who are you talking to?" Because I have no idea if Ofda is the one who's saying that or not. Ofda looks at you. Ofda says, and that's, okay, hear me out. What does Ofda say? Ofda says with an emphatic sigh, "What I would give for some of my old fighting spirit back." And then it has him with an emphatic sigh again say, "The Warden's new form is much more powerful than his old one. I believe that together, Vic and I can stop him." Interesting. So I'm going to ask Ofda. You know Vic? Vic and I are friends, but I actually don't know a lot about her. Let's see. I just know that she's a thief and that she cares more about intelligence and competence than good and evil. Yeah. Maybe because we're bound together, Ofda has the ability to tap into my memories or something. Ofda says, "Vic is a good person at heart, even if she tends to do questionable things. She was the first person to treat me with kindness. Without her, it's unlikely that I would have decided to side with you." I'm going to say to Ofda, that makes sense. Vic did used to steal from the Warden regularly. So I imagine that when she was inside of the Dark Castle during a dimension fluctuation, that you two could have met and become friends. What powers does Vic have? Yeah, he feels like he needs to team up with Vic in order to stop the Warden. But now I'm like, so what is it that Vic can do? Ofda says, "Vic has the ability to transform into any object of her choosing. While in object form, she can spy on enemies or even sabotage machinery, essentially becoming a living shredder. No, living shredder." Interesting. I'm going to say to Ofda, I see. If we had Vic with us, then she could transform into the perfect weapon needed to stop the Warden. That being said, can't you do that too? Well, actually, you can continue acting as psychic armor to protect us both from the Warden, while Vic acts as our mighty shredder to finish the Warden off. I think that would make sense. Ofda says, while your idea sounds appealing, if we bring Vic into this battle, then the Warden will most likely kill her. He would catch on quick that something is amiss. Besides, the three of us all know each other too well to pull off the deception. Fascinating. I'm going to say to Ofda, you mentioned that we needed Vic, but now you're saying that Vic isn't an option. Can you maintain two forms at once? You can act as the shredder and the armor. Transform the arm. Also, I need to change that. Transform the arm of the psychic armor into a shredder sword that we can use to take down the Warden. Okay. Cool. I think that would be a good idea. Essentially, we get, like, the need of Vic without having Vic. Ofda says, while I can transform into a shredder weapon, it would take all of my focus and concentration. We would be defenseless against the Warden, who, trust me, is more than a match for both of us. So he's like, I can't maintain both forms. He's like, I either have to be the psychic armor or I have to be the shredder. Okay. Excuse me. That's fair. I'm going to say to Ofda, then we need to do a lighter version of the supernova slam. We can't do a full power slam because it would destroy this dimension. But a lower level slam might be able to turn the Warden to ash. Or at least I hope it would. Yeah, because I have no idea, to be honest. Because I don't know if the Warden previously needed a dimension-crushing thing. Ofda says, I think I have a better idea that doesn't involve me risking my own freedom. I don't see how that would risk his freedom. That's the only thing that I dislike about that. Is that, like, that line to me doesn't make sense. Hit up retry. Ofda says, the Warden is a large monster. A full-on attack from him would destroy me, and while doing a lower level attack might not destroy him, it wouldn't turn him to ash either. That might be all that we can do in our current state. So he's saying if we get hit by his full power, Ofda will die. And he says a lower level attack might not destroy him, and he says it definitely won't turn him to ash. What? So hold on a second. I'm going to say to Ofda, are you saying that our only options are either the Warden destroying Celled City or us destroying the entire dimension? Yeah, because that's kind of ridiculous. Maybe we should grab the Life Stone. I wasn't really able to handle it before, but maybe with the psychic armor I can. Ofda says, we have another option. We can fly away from this dimension and allow the Warden to destroy Celled City and everyone else in it. Ofda quickly adds, I really don't think that would be a good idea. He's like, we can actually leave the dimension, which I wasn't sure that we were able to do. So we could exit this dimension at will and then just leave everyone to die, is what he said. I'm going to say to Ofda, earlier, I threw away the Life Stone because I couldn't handle its psychic feedback. Now that you're able to protect my mind as psychic armor, maybe we could use the Life Stone to drain away the Warden's life force. I think that could work. Ofda says, well, that would be an ideal way to destroy the Warden. Unfortunately, the Life Stone was destroyed by your hand long ago. Oh, wait. What? Destroyed? And he says, by my hand? So I'm going to ask Ofda. So you're saying when I threw away the Life Stone, that it broke? Oh, man. Okay. So he's like, we could have used it, but you shattered it. That kind of sucks. I wonder if we can repair it, if we can collect the Life Stone shards or whatever. Ooh, I could try and mold them back together with my fire magic. That might be a good idea. Ofda says, I'm saying that the Life Stone destroyed itself when you rejected it. It took away its own power so that it wouldn't fall into the hands of another. There is a lesson in that, but I doubt you're intelligent enough to grasp it. Ofda throwing shade for no reason. I'm going to ask Ofda, what if we collected the shards of the Life Stone and I used my flame magic to reforge the pieces back into a complete stone? Would that bring the stone's power back? Let's see. To forge the pieces back into a complete stone instead of reforge the pieces. Ofda says, I think you're missing some of the broken pieces in order to do that. And even if you found every single piece, the Life Stone's power is gone forever. That power is now within you. Or maybe it always was and just needed to be reawakened. Hold on a second. I'm going to say to Ofda, If I possess the power of the life stone, then I can try and drain away the Warden's life force. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to summon an aura of life force energy and use it to tap into the Warden's aura of life force energy in order to drain away the Warden's life and absorb his vitality. So let's see what we can do. We're about to life energy vampire kill the Warden. Magical energy flows from you to the Warden, and you feel a little of his life energy drain away. Magical energy flows from the Warden to you, and you feel some of your life force energy drain away. Oh, great. So it's like a two-way street. Okay. You realize that the flow of life force energy is causing you and the Warden to trade energies. You need to focus on only pulling life force energy into you from the Warden. Excuse me. Without giving any life force energy to the Warden. It can never be too easy, but that's fine. Waves of magical energy flow between you and the Warden, but after a moment, you've managed to absorb all of the life force energy that was coming at you. You feel stronger. Lean muscle develops on your body. Your hair grows longer, and your skin is filled with a youthful vigor. Yeah, okay. I'm going to look at the Warden to see if I've successfully absorbed all of the Warden's life force energy. It was definitely suspenseful. We went through a lot of strategic brainstorming on different ideas of how to defeat the Warden. The Warden has a large black humanoid torso with large black arms and legs. He has no face, just a featureless black oval. His body is split down the middle, from the top of his head to a little below where his human waist should be. Okay. I can't tell if he always looked like that, or if yeah, was he always a weird cut in half looking dude, or is that just what he looks like now that all his life force energy is gone? I'm going to try to sense if the Warden has any life force energy left in his body. You are still feeling the effects of your gray out from earlier. You are operating on minimal adrenaline at this point. You concentrate as hard as you can, but you can't tell if the Warden's body has any remaining life force energy or not. Maybe Ofda can tell. The effects of your gray out from earlier. The fuck is a gray out? What do you mean I'm working off minimal adrenaline? Just a moment ago, I felt stronger and I had more muscle and shit and I got youthful vigor. Retry. I don't know why it's suddenly you feel weaker for some reason. Okay. You sense nothing coming from the Warden's body. It's like there's nothing there. You wonder if you absorbed all the life force energy from the Warden, or if he has simply ceased to be. I'm going to say to Ofda, thank you. If you hadn't revealed to me the nature of the life stone, I would have never realized that I now possessed its power. The Warden has been defeated, and Seld City is saved. Cool. Oh, that was weird, I'll say. This is definitely a weird adventure. Ofda's red eyes narrow. You absorbed all of his life energy, didn't you? There's nothing left in him. I can tell. Yes, I absorbed all of his energy, you smile. Good thing, too. I now feel more powerful than ever. Let's see. So we got 9 minutes left. I'm going to say to Ofda, your eyes have turned from blue to red. Is that because of our increase in energy? Since we both share magical energy? Interesting. Dun, dun, dun. Do, 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 do. Dun, dun, dun. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-dum, 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 bum, bum. Ba-dum, 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 bum, bum. So I gotta wait. AI Dungeon has been really hanging on a lot of actions recently. They do have a lot of active users, so that makes sense. And I am like a highest tier subscriber for AI Dungeon too. So I definitely put money into it for sure. Do 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 ba 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 do 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 ba 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 do 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 what yeah, it's really hanging. It's hanging so hard it's like doing the retry thing where it auto retries. Yes, Ofda says. You now have access to the full range of my powers. I don't understand. When he connected us, the Lifestone said we are now bound. So I don't understand that next part right there. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to ask Ofda. What new powers do you possess, Ofda? Yeah, I'll say his name. I think saying someone's name does add to like a discussion sometimes. Makes it feel more personal. Oh, shit. I have the ability to travel in time, Ofda says with pride. Time travel? That's amazing. Why have you never mentioned this before? You could warn yourself about all the other times you died, you say with excitement. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, says Ofda. I wouldn't have said the like you could warn yourself about all the other times you died or whatever. But I'm down to say time travel, that's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Humble brags often. Yeah. Okay. We're like uber powerful now, I would say. I'm gonna say to Ofda, so we can fly, we can absorb magic, well, we can absorb life force energy, Um, we can travel between dimensions. We can destroy dimensions. We can control and manipulate fire. You can shapeshift into anything. And we can time travel. We sound absolutely unbeatable. Yeah, so we're like dimension busters that can also travel through time, who can also travel to other dimensions. And if you were to fight someone, you could just like leech their life energy. Ofda's eyes narrow. We sound arrogant, he says coldly. I'm going to say to Ofda, thank you for the reality check. I agree. I still think we wouldn't necessarily be able to defeat a reality warper. Someone who can just manipulate reality itself is probably beyond our power. I mean, the Warden was just a big monster guy. Though, to be honest, he wasn't hard to kill, we just didn't know how well we could kill him. Well, it's true that we have no idea what the future holds. Either way, I'm not going to worry myself over things I can't control, you say. You're right. Well, Ofda smiles, and he says, you're right. Oh, interesting. So it made it just like one long quote. I'll accept what it said. What it said was cool. Sure, yeah. One long quote's fine with me. So I didn't expect that part to be me talking, but I think that's fair. So we can't worry about the future. So now the question would be, what do we do now? We got like 3 minutes left. I'm going to decide to head to Silver Sands Hotel. You know that Vic Victoria Sirens likes to swim in the magic pools on the rooftop of Silver Sands Hotel. You wonder if she is there and if she was able to successfully steal the Warden's crown. So in a previous non-canon adventure that you don't have to watch, because none of these episodes are technically canonically connected to each other or whatever, the whole reason why we were fighting the Warden in the first place is because she wanted to steal the Warden's magical crown. Let's see. You're transported to Silver Sands Hotel and find yourself in the middle of the opulent lobby. Wow, you say as you look around. The hotel is 5 stars and is made of pure white stone that gives off a subtle shine. Okay? I'm going to take the elevator up to the roof. You don't know if Vic Victoria Sirens is aware that the Warden murdered her sister. It happened so fast. And sadly, you weren't able to save her sister in time. Well, you just weren't able to save her sister. It's not even like a time thing. She just died. It's interesting to say in time. I mean, it seems like a unnecessary thing. Duh, you didn't save her. So of course you didn't save her in time. How can you even save someone after the time? They're already dead. Let's see. You and Ofda take the elevator to the rooftop. You step out of the elevator and immediately see Victoria. She's wearing a red one-piece bathing suit and is pouring a golden liquid from a bottle into the magic pool. Yes, yes, I did it. Okay. I'm going to ask Victoria. Ooh. I guess I'm going to ask her, did you steal the Warden's magic crown? Because like I said before, that was the whole reason for why we went into the dark castle of the Warden in the first place. Also, I didn't do the double quote at the end of that question. Okay. So, that's the end of this adventure. What'd you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord. Shout out to King of Craxel for sponsoring this episode. If you guys would like to offer a video idea to your boy, definitely hit me up on Discord. We can talk it out. And if I'm down to do your video idea, then I'll charge you $7 per hour length of video to make that video idea a reality. Also, if you would like to donate any money to the channel to help keep it going, feel free to hit us up on our Cash App in the description box below. Shout out again to King of Craxels on Discord for sponsoring the video. Truly appreciate it. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Peace, guys. Check it about.